Okay. Is it necessary for me to reload my wristbands every time? No. Do I do it every time? Yes. Kakazi, Watto, and welcome. Now you know the true curse of entering the Hall of Legends. How are you doing? Oh, I don't know. I had a weird mood today that I've had to kind of shake before getting going. Like, I'm doing good. I think compound exhaustion's kind of been kicking my ass a little bit. Oh, Verbal, Watto, and welcome. You know, Kakazi, the Hall of Legends should be recorded somewhere. So far, it's recorded only in my heart. And the Excel sheet I use to keep track of everything first. Verbal, well done. Speaking of the Hall of Legends, could this be the beginning of your journey? So far, Chaunerus has 2 this month, and everyone else is on 1, so it's up for grabs. Anyway, how you doing? Come on in, friends, come on in. I hope you're all doing splendid. Yeah, I just had this weird funk I had to shift before getting started. It's real strange. Like, I'm in a good mood, but I just couldn't seem to shake this, like, until I did. 4 shots of coffee will do a lot. You know, Verbal, you did it. You were just that quick. Take the win. And thank you, Kakazi. Though I am thinking of rescheduling the Le Marbles 24. I think that while I could pull it off this weekend, I think it would end up like... I think compound exhaustion would kick the absolute bad word out of me. And I think I should listen to my body a little bit. It's fine. We'll build Gundams on Saturday. Anyway, how y'all doing? I should let the rest of the Longship know that we're kicking it. Yeah, I mean, it would have been a long haul into another. But it's not like, it's not cancelled. We're just going to postpone it for a couple weeks. Because I have definitely been doing that thing that I have done since the beginning of the Longship. And will probably continue to do for as long as you lot keep me around, which is that I schedule a bunch of stuff, and then I go hard, ignoring my body, and then suddenly crash out for like 2-3 days, and there's no streams at all. And I can't afford to take any time off at the moment, so I've got to be smart about it, you know? I'm just letting the rest of the Longship know we're live. Okay. And Kakazi, it's not so much taking it easy, right? It's just not doing a marathon after Summer Games Fest, Next Fest into this, which itself came off of, like, some wildly tumultuous times. Oh yeah, Orchazini, absolutely. I have a little button. It's the same one that I used to feed Phyllis's cats to distract them. Taking it sensible, that's it. And Megaboss, Watto, and welcome. Come on in, come on in. Chornerus, good to see you. Hello, hello. Come on in, friends, come on in. Okie dokie. So yes, there is some industry banter to talk about today. We can continue kind of having a banter on like the... I've had a little bit of time to digest the whole like Summer Games Fest into Next Fest vibe, which has been very, very interesting. Actually, weirdly, Furball, I was just talking to someone this morning about Balatro and mobile, people being like, I should try that. And I'm like, you should, but also be warned, friend. And Vanderbeest, Watto, and welcome. Thank you, Fix and Pint Glass. If some of the heavyweights from yesterday are still lurking at the depth of said glass. Hey! Jay, you lovely Mother Hubbard. Watto, and welcome. Jay, I hope you had a splendid stream. Ozymandias, always good to see you. Come on in, friends, come on in. Jay Post, hello, hello. Yeah, Jay, we just got started. Wigglestick, good to see you. Almost a hamburger. That was my dinner. Actually, no, we just made hamburgers. Krypton, Watto, and welcome. And actually, so we literally, Krypton, we literally just got started. So we're having a little putz around. We're going to be talking about game news and a little bit of what's been going down in Steam Next Fest. Yeah, before we leap into Rain World, The Watcher. Ozymandias, fuck you. Fine, you can have your shark fact. There are 13 different kinds of angel shark, and all live in shallow, warm seas, though some migrate to warmer waters during the summer. They hunt at night in their own territories, and unlike rays, they have sharp teeth for feeding on shelled prey, small fish. And Poppin', Watto, and welcome. Don't sneak up on me! We've been going for 7 minutes! So Jay, how was your stream? What were you up to? Tell me your tales. You've been back in the game, checking the Next Fest demos. Anything that's sprung out at you? My wish list is so expansive now that I've been actively trying to find games that weren't on my radar prior, which has been easier said than done. Also known as saw sharks, these are characterized by long, slender, saw-like snout equipped with sharp, tooth-like projections. Yeah, projections on each edge. A very unusual group that's often confused with sawfishes, which are rays. That's one. The most obvious difference between the two is that the saw shark possesses barbels, and the teeth located on the prolonged snout are different sizes. Only 5 species are known. And saw sharks are found off South Africa, Australia, and Eastern Asia. Boosh. Okay. Not bad, Jay, not bad. The ones I would put on your radar are exclamation MRAC, Hell is Us, Whisper Mountain Outbreak, which you probably know, and Mind Diver. And Hoffers, Watto, and welcome. Because I think one of the things about Steam Next Fest that I'm enjoying is it's kind of like a swap meet of sorts. It is impossible for any one person to go over everything in Next Fest.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, our 4 reptilian heroes, have overcome the arch villain Shredder.
Very doubtful, fucking thank you. You got 10 people off the bat. I'm still getting myself up to speed. You got, oh Jesus, The Dirt is Alive, Deus Ex Cos, Square Bomb, Objuan, View from the Box, Ezrandark, Cranbaru, Igloo Arsonist. You got Jetman J, who just brought a raid in, and the smallest waffle, Feckin' Yol. Also, to my lot, sorry, here's me being a terrible host. I've been really bad for doing shout-outs. There we go. So if you are not, please give Jetman J a follow. And to Jetman J and to the rest of the crew, what and welcome. Just as a quick reminder, friends, that in Steam Next Fest, you have the power. If you see a game that you like, add it to wishlist. Even if you don't pick it up for years, you are directly helping developers of that game. If you see a game repping AI art or any kind of other dog shit, ignore. The more a game is ignored, the more it will be buried, especially in Steam Next Fest. And there are a lot of games in Next Fest that do not deserve eyeballs. Like, I'm done fucking around with shitty generative AI art bollocks. May they rest in peace. You know, as the Longship, if anybody comes to us as a developer who is using it, we will work with them to help remove it and spruce up their stuff. But at the point where you're putting it out into the world as Next Fest, like, you can't claim ignorance, so, you know. Oh, Jay, go for it. I will entertain your lovely crew, so thank you for leaving them here. Friends, come on in, come on in. So yeah, there's some games news to bant on. There's some very interesting stuff going on right now. Fuck you guys. Do you know what doesn't use art, AI to make art? Sharks! Piss at you. The saw shark looks more like a swordfish than a shark. It lives at the bottom of warm seas, stirring up the seabed with its long snout and feeding on small fish and crabs with its barbels. It can grow up to 3 feet long. Baby saw sharks' teeth are covered in skin, so they don't injure their mum. There you go. And sorry, very doubtful guest, seriously. Thank you for throwing out 10 subs to the crowd, you ledge. It's wild to see, like, View from the Box making their first time chat, and yet they have a year's worth of subscription. Like, feckin' yo. Doubtful, to my knowledge, you're not a shark, but also, not a doctor. As in, I'm not a doctor. You could be a doctor for all I know. Long time lurker, first time caller. Well, lovely to have you with us. Oh, so yeah, for those of you who have been getting eyeballs deep into Steam Next Fest, is there anything that you've stumbled across that you feel nobody's talking about? Because that's definitely the space that we occupy. With all the research that I do and all the sheer amount of nonsense that I get into, it's possible even for dingleberries like myself to miss the good shit. Like, someone was saying that there's like over 2,000 demos in this layup. Now, I haven't been able to confirm that. God, there's a lot. But there is a lot of, well, shite. Wait, Dustin, didn't we find Bloodletter? No! Okay, I was thinking of a different title. This looks fascinating. So, sorry, this is the game that Dustin was mentioning a bloodletter. Kind wants to do no ghosts at the Grand because of the Scottish paintbrush with the bad guys. Okay, let me. So Kimball, let me put that on the docket for a long ship after dark. We can take you through it. So there's Bloodletter and Tomb of the Bloodletter. 2 different games. Okay. Hang on. No Ghosts at the Grand. No Ghosts at the Grand. Oh! Oh, so Kimball, we will definitely be hitting this when it drops. This was one of the good standout bangers. So it's a kind of spooky time travel. It's... What if House Flipper and other, like, dad games were more of a progression narrative? It's got a little bit of, like, the musical jams. It's got a little bit of the spooky story beneath the surface. It's going to be wonderful and quintessentially British. So yeah, Kimball will absolutely be playing this. And Oatmeal, Watto and welcome. Coming in. But it does look like it gets proper spoopy. You know, the fact that you have these hidden puzzles, elements to explore and ilk, like, sign me the fuck up. It was interesting that this was one of those games that was able to stand out through Summer Games Fest, despite the sheer amount of absolute fucking nonsense. I haven't finished digesting Summer Games Fest because we went straight from that into Next Fest. But there's a lot to unpack. It's interesting. I know we talked about this yesterday, but it's interesting to look at the main stage of Summer Games Fest was probably the weakest part of it, if you know what I mean. Like, Keeley's presentation was still the weakest, but, you know, the PC gaming show and... Sorry. I just haven't had the chance to fully discuss, especially with people who are at Summer Games Fest, like what's been going on. Summer Games Fest is now kind of like a PR publisher mixer as well as an external showcase. Like the pictures and things I've seen from Summer Games Fest itself, it's very much about appealing to like the last bastion of journos and whatnot. And Furball, I've been pondering it, and even if it wasn't for Call of Duty, that reveal trailer was dog shit. That could have been on the main stage, that could have been on any of them. It was a bad asset, and definitely a waste. Well, so Kimball, that's the thing I've been pondering, is that, like, it has overtaken what E3 is. Hang on, bear with me just a second. Sorry, I need to find out if something is real. Well, it's not like it's not like there aren't other like trade shows throughout the year. Like how DICE has kind of become the B2B event, GDC has become a bit more squishy. You know, for Europe and UK, there's Develop and things like that. Summer Games Fest seems to be a strange little, I don't know. And the behind the scenes seems to be more about like PR company pitching and I'm trying to, like I said, I'm still trying to digest it. I'm seeing the interactions that we see at Summer Games Fest's physical event, which couldn't be more separate. While we are seeing write-ups of things from Summer Games Fest, i.e. people who've played demos and had hands-on with games, but there's no coverage of the show floor. Summer Games Fest is entirely an external media circus, which is very disorganized and disjointed. Like, okay, for those of you who are fan presenting here in the Longship, I'd like your thoughts on something. All right. During Summer Games Fest, there was the, I believe, I want to make sure I'm using the correct wording. It's the Showcase of Showcases page to love. It is, okay. So it was the women-led games summer showcase. A load of interesting games, a lot of things that were being announced in a lot of other places. And it did include games like Spilled, which is a gorgeous, like, ecological fix-em-up. You have this cutie patootie little barge, and you clean up oil spills and garbage in the sea and restore everything to its gorgeous state. I highly recommend it. The game is like $5.50. Hang on, let me just give you the... Boop. Oh, and Smallest Waffle, well, and welcome. If I haven't told you about this or you haven't seen it, pick it up. I think I played through it in like a couple hours, and it was totally worth it. Like, it's really, really good. But the thing that I noticed was that some studios were playing very, very fast and loose with what is considered a femme-led project. So one title that shall remain nameless, they had one of their like creative producers front and center talking about this game, and I was like, fuck yeah. Because, you know, the more diverse folks we have heading up games, the more different kinds of games we have, and that's better for everybody, right? But I saw one, and I was like, hang on, I know that studio. And I looked it up, and sure as mayonnaise, both the CEOs are white blokes who look like Daves. And there's something disingenuous about that. And I haven't been able to kind of... Am I being too much of a, well, actually, or... I don't know. And that's why I wanted to ask, you know, those of you, especially, like, Kaimball and Angelo's, like, Fempercent folks who have worked in games. I'd love to know your thoughts and your feels on that one. And it's stuff like that where I'm still processing it, because the Women's Led Game Showcase and like the Accessibility Showcase weren't showcases in the sense of here's a cavalcade of new games. These were highlighted areas of the industry. Scotty, Watto, and welcome. Whereas things like, you know, the Latin American showcase was used as a way to show off a lot of new titles. Oh, shit, sorry. I am so sorry, friends. I realize I completely went into space for a second there. I do apologize, friends. You know what? I'm gonna change our vibe there. Well, and Kimball, that's the thing, right? So Kimball's asking, what do I think defines a female-led project? And that's the thing we can't know from the outset. Ideally, okay, in an ideal universe, right? Like, the CEOs of a medium to large studio aren't actually creative leads. Their job is to keep the business side of things going, right? Their job is to make sure that sorry. I'm trying to get all my thoughts together in a row there. The CEO and studio lead should not have, like, creative output. Their job should be handle the business shit, keep the studio going, etc. Now, for those of us who have worked in mid to large size studios, we know that it's very rare for that to be the case. I think that someone heading up a project where they are the tip of the spear, so to speak, would definitely count as. But I don't know. I don't want to be the arbiter on this one, you know? I don't want to be the one that says, because I might not know. And Kimball, I guess, like, is the thing like the Women-led Showcase, is it having a positive effect? Or is it letting a bunch of white guys go, ally? I think that's what's scratching around the back of my head, do you know what I mean? I don't know if there's anything else to be unpacking on this one. I think it's more just to highlight that in the Summer Games Fest, not all showcases are equal. In fact, they're wildly lopsided in terms of quality and in terms of intent. Not that the women-led showcase is bad, but it's a very different setup. And Kimball, an excellent point. An excellent point. I mean, I'd love to see things like Crescent Country do really, really fucking well. Like, let that be the start of things. Alright, the thing that I've been chewing around like a bad penny this morning is still thinking about how the fucking Atomic Heart people have enough money to publish multiple games because it's not on game sales, not at the size and rate that they're making them. But hey, look, this is why I find like spaces like ours are really, really good. Like, I feel I can talk to you all about this, and it'll definitely stop me from getting too inside my own head, like picking apart specificity over intent. You know what I mean? I know, Kimball. Absolutely. I mean, CA, I think, was the perfect example that, like, there was no one in the command team that was anything other than, like, visibly straight white guy. And the ever-decreasing loop of creativity at large studios can definitely be attributed to, you know, the same 5 white guys getting older. And Arandios, well, and welcome. Coming in, friend, coming in. Anyway, this isn't something to tangle on, and I apologize for putting it on y'all. You know how it is? You just get like a bad penny in your shoe. It was just knowing that one studio, which put itself forward in that. Okay, but as for the rest of the showcases, I'm still trying to like pick through them. The Splitgate 2 drama definitely obfuscated a lot of the more generalized coverage. You know, there's always a main character, right? And that guy managed to run his project into the ground. And as a few of you were saying, like, it must suck to work on a project like Splitgate 2 to put in all those hours and then have your lead white guy go on stage and fucking ruin the project. And Kimball is upsettingly common, you know? So Kimball, we just need to get you a buttload or a small truckload of money, and you can hire us. So to Almost a Hamburger, to give you the quick TLDR, because everybody's covered this quite a lot, the studio head of Splitgate 2 came out on stage in a MAGA hat, or MAGA-esque hat, did a little speech about how COD sucks and other games are terrible and how it's like going back to the roots of LAN parties. It went down like a shit in a hot tub. He at first refused to apologize for this, and even in an interview with IGN refused to apologize, and then apologized before the story went live. It turns out the dude's a chud. He's a nepo baby that's been kind of chasing the fascist pick-me scene and failing, I might add. But also that Splitgate 2 has been having kind of a rocky start of things. Splitgate 1 is what if Halo but Portal, which is a good premise. Splitgate 2 was moving into the free-to-play section and has been relying on things like season passes, skin packs, etc., like multiple in-game currencies. And so where he goes on stage and goes, "Oh, fuck all these other games, it needs to be like the old thing," he put a huge magnifying glass in his project, and it turns out that no, all of the things that he was rallying against, his game is doing. He has since thrown multiple people of his studio under the bus, including his head of monetization, who had previously worked on Call of Duty, which he shit-talked, leading to this little thing of like, well, who hired him? And all of these things are in your game. Do you not play your game? Anyway, the dude has basically sunk Splitgate 2 in the... I mean, it took him, like, what, 30 seconds to do it? And as peeps were saying, I feel bad for the game devs who've been working their ass off on that project, who had no say in his stupid-ass marketing stunt gone wrong. And as somebody else pointed out, that guy had no one in his life who liked him enough to tell him not to do that. Hell yeah, Kimball, let's do this. And Holy Glee, that's a very good point. It's highly unlikely he would have listened to anyone anyway. Oh, Aeon, absolutely. You paid to have that hat made. Okay. Well, and so Furball, here's the thing that I think we do need to take away from Summer Games Fest, which is like, we are still at the state of the risen tide of game releases. Working in games right now fucking sucks. There are very few jobs and very few stable studios. But all the people who got stupid money during lockdown are still progressing through. There are fucking tons of video games coming out every moment, right? More so than ever, you cannot afford to fuck off the industry, because it will result in people going, oh, fuck that game. Like, let's not play Splitgate. Let's play Fragpunk or something else. Like, if we just look at current free-to-play shooters, like, let's have a look on Steam alone. Right? Now, the guy himself will fail upwards, but, you know, fucking Nepo baby, right? Okay, FPS. Tag. Now how do we do... Oh, God. Steam, you're gonna make this very difficult for me. I think I have to go through free-to-play as a genre, which is still bizarre to me, but there we go. Okay, category free. Steam, you're not making this easy for me. Okie dokie. Okay. Well, and so Garrett, that is another interesting thing, is that with these free-to-play titles, you're going up against some huge heavyweights. Rainbow Six Siege, Call of Duty Warzone. Like, love it or loathe it, it is in that space. I mean, shit, you're going up against, like, Counter-Strike and other behemoths. To leap into that space and fail, massively fail at a marketing stunt like that is, I mean, it's a death nail, right? Because free-to-play games rely on user acquisition. So now the dude has two choices. Spend bank trying to get people back, or accept that Splitgate 2 is not going to make enough money to keep itself alive, right? Because someone mentioned TF2, and in an ideal world, a free-to-play shooter generates more money than it costs to run, and you can just leave it humming along like a little fridge in the background. Well, and Furiosa, that hat was very dog whistle, but look, this is where it's kind of like a misunderstanding, right? Okay, we're not going to go into the dark today, and we're going to talk about some fun and fluffy stuff. I just want to touch on this very, very briefly, because Stellar Blade is coming to Steam and what have you. There is a grift right now, based on fake outrage. If you study the areas around Stellar Blade, a few really awful people, predominantly on Twitter and social media, tried to create this idea that Stellar Blade was being cancelled due to its sexy character designs and stuff like that. This wasn't true. However, they were able to generate this fake controversy around it. They were able to be the both sides of this argument and farm it for money. Stellar Blade got additional attention that it might not have gotten, and they definitely leaned into it. I don't like this. But the thing that you have to understand is that it was a constructed thing. There was no outrage against Stellar Blade. However, I would bet money dollars to donuts that Mr., Chudley and Nepo Baby MAGA Hat really did think that it was a real thing. He saw what he thought was a market to apply to. Doesn't exist. See, that market only serves to make money for awful people. They don't make money off of the game doing well. They have no reason to support any of these games. Right? And they can't turn Splitgate 2 into controversy. Because the guy basically just owned himself. And if you'll forgive the terminology, he's running over to these awful people trying to be a, for lack of a better term, pick-me bitch. It doesn't work. And if he'd spoken to anyone who understands how these markets move and the flow, because the thing about the awful folks is that they don't generate money by liking things. They generate money by hating. They either have to hate a project or a person, or a straw man construction. Stellar Blade was positioned to generate them money because of the idea of this mystical, council of censorship. Whereas over here, under the rainbow flag, we're working out how to get more sexy games, just better sex in games, better representation. We don't want less fucking, we want more fucking. We just want it for everybody who wants it, And occasionally that, if you're making a dating game, put a non-sexy option in there, like the cat from Boyfriend Dungeon. You don't want to fuck your swords? Just have a cat who's a best friend. That's cool. What, and Furiosa? Like I said, don't go down that path. Down that path, madness lies. Alright? Because those terminologies, that whole line of awful nonsense, it isn't a discussion, it's grift. To try and create this idea of video game censorship that doesn't exist. Game censorship does exist, but it sure as shit isn't, yeah, anyway. Now, Devious Oatmeal, outrage marketing can be abused pretty easily, but again, outrage marketing is not something that the games are using. Awful people are weaponizing it to make money. It's easy to turn hate into cash. Now, one of the reasons I get so feelsy when talking to you lot is that I can only imagine how fucking miserable those people are. Sure, they make a lot more money than, someone like myself, but you can't spend all day seeping in that hate and not have it twist you, right? And you can fucking see it. To quote Roald Dahl, beautiful people will always be beautiful as it comes from the inside. You could have crooked teeth and scraggly hair and a strange shoulder, but that inner beauty will always show through. But ugly people, truly ugly people, no matter what genetics they may be blessed with, will eventually twist and distort like old knotted wood. Legend, it is, but it burns you from the inside out. Oren, we're talking about the Splitgate 2 eating shit by falsely assuming that the awful folks of the internet are a viable marketing ploy, not realizing that they themselves just use games as part of their grift and they don't give a shit. Aeon, yes, it is from the Twits. Anyway, I may not make silly money, but we spend our days loving video games, and that makes me very happy, If I sit here for 8 hours and we're talking about stuff, it makes me feel real cool. It's getting called out. It's called out by Roald Dahl. Let's go. So, anyway. But the thing I wanted to comment on is like, those big flashy swings are more dangerous than ever, because if you knock yourself out of your seat, there may not be time to get back into it, because right now you're not the only free-to-play shooter that users can indulge in. They've got 7 others, all of them wildly interesting and creative. Like, again, love it or loathe it, Fragpunk has been designed with laser accuracy to hit all the free-to-play beats and be a good experience to play, you know? And Aaron, have a lovely day. Actually, before you trundle off, have you got anything in Steam Next Fest that we can shout about? Because homies helping homies. I can't, as I've said, friends, I can't help you be the next big streamer man, but if you've got a game, I'll shout about it. You still cooking? All right. Because, like, friends, I try not to talk about, like, the awful people who orbit around video games discussion, because very rarely do they have an effect other than, like, an emotional one or a personal one, right? Like, they don't have as much weight to affect these games as they think they do. But we do sometimes need to be aware of their grift and how they operate, because it can affect us. Or you can end up being like Shudsy McShithat and misunderstanding their whole bullshit and trying to be like, hello, and then basically kicking him in the stomach and throwing him down a cliff. Which he would have been fine, except for he shit-talked his peers and other games, which made everybody else who would have supported him go, nah, fuck you, mate. You know? Thank you. Bonio's taking a fucking load off. Lazy bastard. I should say, out here in Seattle, the weather has broken. It is not nearly as hot today, so I'm doing so much better. But I couldn't move the mattress because it's so fucking heavy. So I've just got a little bouncy castle behind me. It's fine. Now, so game news-wise, what's going on in the world of video games? Speaking of not running your fucking mouth, Mind's Eye is having a very bad time. And it has been interesting to see how the co-CEO has created a negative aura around that game that wouldn't have existed otherwise. So TLDR, Mind's Eye came out yesterday. God. It's not doing good. I mean, it's got 1,000 reviews, that's fine, but it's very, very mixed. And yeah, Kaimul, the bugs are very, very funny. But the interesting thing about it is that if you didn't see, one of the co-CEOs was claiming that the negative perception around Mind's Eye was due to paid bad actors shitting on the game before it came out. Even the head of IO Interactive, who's publishing this game, were kind of like, well, we don't believe that's true, and didn't go on to say anything else. Yeah, so this is another example of, like, creating a negative vibe around a game before it's dropped. It has been a struggle where even, like, very professional streamers and content creators and whatnot who have been paid to support the game have been really struggling to find a balance between not shit-talking it whilst their audience can see the state of the title. Now, again, we're not here to shit on this game. Like, less than 1% of Gearbox is Randy Pitchford and so on. But what has happened with this game is they've taken it from the bugs could have been funny and they could have leaned into it. They could have made something of this. They've already set a tone and a precedence with their CEO being like, this is everyone against me. Like, instead of it being like, hey, we had a really ambitious launch, it's been really rocky, but we're rolling with a early access kind of vibe. Like, nah, he wanted to be Mr. the AAA, he wanted to... I don't know, but he has definitely lost his little marbles. He's definitely lost his marbles. Because, like, where did this perception of, like, paid bad actors come from? Because there have been some titles that have suffered unfair review bombing due to thematic reasons. Usually things based on, being empathic and kind to one another and shit like that. But... yeah, Kimball, exactly. Now, the other thing being that this is a $60 premium title with the deluxe weighing in at 80, so it's 20 below the AAA price point right now. But it is being sold as a full game, not as a it's not being sold as an early access title. And Aeon, there is a non-zero chance that maybe he asked for that one. Yeah, no, Unholy Glee. Mind's Eye is not an early access title. What they did say is that they want to create something that's a biting point between the make your own content of Fortnite and Roblox and the open world shooty gunbang of GTA. On their multiplayer front, they're going to be slowly expanding that one, if they survive. But it's not looking good. It's not looking good. And again, possibly Kimball. But the thing is, like, IO Interactive aren't going to let them bring the whole thing down. IO fought long and hard to be independent, and they probably thought this was a shoo-in choice for a publisher, right? Like, ex-Rockstar, open world game, like, get all of that GTA money with none of that GTA fuckery. It's a smart sign. Anyway, I'm just highlighting this because... God. Like, when he started running his mouth about how it was evil paid actors working against him, they could have fixed that. Hell, in this day and age, so long as you're being genuine, like, he could turn around and be like, you know what? I'm sorry I said it was paid actors. I am really fucking stressed right now, and I was freaking out. Like, being human, admitting fault. But you know what senior white guys in power are really bad at doing? That. So yeah, it's an interesting one to pay attention to. Yeah, Kimball, he's been on the top too long. He doesn't remember. And now he's had to relearn. As for other industry stuff, we got a really interesting look behind the curtain on how EA handled Veilguard. How Veilguard was moved to be a multiplayer title for a while, and they managed to claw it back. How that initial trailer that hit real bad, they managed to change the tone of marketing because of, the Marvelly game with the lass and the talking book. Hang on, where was it? Got the article. Websites that don't have dark mode. Let's have a look into this proper. Alright. But it's worth a read. It's worth a read because we had a lot of theories as to why things happened with Dragon Age, and we seem to have been pretty on point. So I'm not just saying this to be able to like pat ourselves on the back, but it's nice to know that our little corner of the internet's pretty on point for deconstruction of why these things happen, even without an inside person. Sadly, more people are being hurt by Sony's pivot away from live service games as the studio behind Days Gone had one of their projects scrubbed, so a bunch of people lost their gigs. I mean, and there's nothing else to be saying there that Sony never should have said they were making, what was it, 11 live service games? That was never a good, smart move. It was like they pivoted all of their studios to it. And one thing that annoys me is like, the same thing that you all have pointed out is that none of the people who made that strategic decision will pay for it, but the people who were hired will lose their jobs. That will always annoy me. There's nothing to be doing about it, but it will always annoy me. Honestly, I think that's kind of it. Like, I didn't see anything else doing around. There was some discussion about some of the big media houses suing Midjourney, but we'll just have to wait and see on that one. I mean, as a friend of mine said, at this point, it would be very difficult to put the genie back in the bottle. But if the House of Mouse is able to obliterate these generative AI art companies, then the bubble will burst and that shit will implode. Sadly, I don't know if it will kill it outright, but the people responsible for doing all of this damage will themselves finally get some bloody comeuppance. You know, we can hope. We can hope. Yeah, Orsine, but I think no more so than a lot of other, like, you know, much like scam emails and things like that. They'll still persist for a while. Okay. Sorry, friends. I keep getting lost in the paint. I was trying to pull up a game from Steam Next Fest. Everything happens so much. So, before we get started on Rain World, a couple things I want to talk to you about. So one, we're going to be changing the schedule for this week. I don't know what Friday is going to be, but we are going to be moving the Le Marbles 24. I have definitely hit kind of a physical limit, and if you've noticed the amount of times I've had that 1,000-yard stare in the last hour, I don't think I'm going to be able to bring the thunder like I want to. I think I've pushed myself a little too hard over the last 3 weeks, and I think a 20-hour marathon stream might be a little ill-advised. But we're not cancelling it, we're just postponing it. Most likely it'll be next month. I'll have a look on the schedule and see when it fits on in. And Jeffrey, it's not self-care. Like, it's not fucking dying. I really hate the term self-care because it tends to come. Sorry. It's one that I dislike. Like, I'm not cancelling it because I want to or because I'm like, oh, I feel a little faint. It's like, I had a really rough go of it, and then we rolled immediately into Summer Games Fest, and then immediately into Next Fest, and now we're here. It's self-preservation, right? It's human mech maintenance. Like, right now, friends, you don't even know the number of projects that have had to be on hold just because life has been kicking the absolute fuck out of me, including game dev projects and a huge one, which would be a huge game changer, which I've barely been able to work on because fuck you, the world! So close. And Jeffrey, thank you. So yeah, I don't know what Friday and Saturday are going to entail, but Saturday might be a Gundam building day, because now I've got this sturdy desk, I can actually put it together. Indeed, Vanderbeest, I've been here the whole time. I apologize that the schedule didn't go up immediately. Yeah, Wigglestick, there are a bunch of Gundam kits that I haven't had the chance to start building, even with everything going down. So, I also, one of my industry friendos has asked if I want to do a build along. The same gentleman who sent through the master grade SD Gundam wing, and I would really like to start working on that one. Hell, there's a whole ass fucking white glint. I haven't even taken the wrapping off yet. But today's gonna be Rain World, tomorrow's gonna be Night Rain. Wolfcred, it's not like that. That is something that happens and has happened a few times during Longship history where I've pushed myself well past the point that I physically should have. And then I just have to have a breakdown and not. Like, a couple weeks back, I think it was a Friday, and I just had a full-on break. That's what I want to avoid. That's the Counter-Strike waiting to respawn time. I'm sorry, friends. Here I am being all like, oh no, it's so hard. I stream for a living. I'm sorry, friends. I don't mean to be a all-you-can-whinge buffet. I got this feeling in my gut that doing the Le Marbles this weekend is a bad call. Yeah, like putting electrical tape over your check engine light. So yeah, I don't know what Friday's gonna be. Sadly, it doesn't look like we're gonna get a last abiotic factor with Chorby, and Sage is currently in the process of rebuilding their entire house. Well, Hamburger, that's lovely for you to say, and all of you. I know. I just, look, I love doing this with my whole heart, right? And I'm insanely lucky that this is what I do to feed the guinea pigs, myself, and put a roof over my head. That's the fucking greatest thing. And I feel guilty whinging. That's just me. That's not gonna change. But thank you all for saying. Wolfcrack, I'd say painter's tape. Duct tape also. Yes, okay, I think we've hit everything like Vigigamery news-wise. If I'm able to, I'm gonna see if any of the people who physically attended Summer Games Fest want to jump on the mic, like, come Friday. Because I'd be interested to know what the physical event was like. We've seen a few previews and stuff. Resident Evil 9 did have a either hands-on or hands-off demo. So it's really interesting to see the peeps who have actually spent some time with it. Same with like Onimusha Wear the Sword and things like that. Like Capcom went hard at Summer Games Fest, and it's good to see, you know? Oh, and did we talk about it yesterday that good old SAG-AFTRA has finally hit a tentative agreement after 11 months? So, fingers crossed that all my VO homies will be able to get back to work. God, I hope they're doing good. One of the reasons why I haven't really like hit them up during this whole thing is, to my understanding, there's not a lot they can say as individual members other than don't cross the picket line and fuck these guys. But, you know, I don't think there's much else to be thrown down. Oh, and just very, very quickly, so I did get a chance to spend some time with Exclamation MRAC, which is this glorious wireframe polygon slavjank shooter. And it's really good. Full diegetic UI. Predominantly diegetic UI. You do have a health percentage, but it's things like all of your items and ammo in your backpack, which you have to put on the floor, similar to things like Dustwood. The gun handling is very realistic, but because it's all wireframe type elements, it's really fucking rad. Wolfgrad, it super is, and it handles great. So things like if you're close up against the wall, your little shooty gun guy will pull it back through. So like, how you aim is based on distance. T-Pose Unleashed. So People Bees TLDR, SAG-AFTRA's video game side have been striking for 11 months, predominantly because they wanted more protection from AI bullshit from games companies, and a lot of games companies weren't willing to acquiesce. During this time, we have actually seen people removed and replaced with AI voices, which has fucking sucked. Companies like Activision and EA have had no fucking mercy, and a few of the Animu Gacha Fests have done the same thing. It's been a long and messy road, and as I said, I did notice that when other parts of SAG were on strike, things happened a lot quicker. I don't know to what extent, but I'm glad to see it's happening. Hopefully they haven't said, alright, you can AI, just let us get back to work. Because in the past, I've been critical of SAG because while they did strike, they struck and then let their mate's AI company be like the one who's okay, and that set off some alarm bells. But hopefully it's all sorted and fixed now. That'd be lovely. But it's definitely been an interesting time, you know? Sorry, an interesting time? God. Just talking absolute bollocks now. It's been a shitey time to be a SAG member, but a lot of the companies have got what was called interim agreements, so that they were allowed to work during, because they agreed to whatever SAG was going to be proposing, and that's cool, you know. It meant that if you were pro-SAG, your SAG actors would be able to work on your stuff faster, and that's cool. And I don't think there's anything else really going on, you know? Yeah, Fura, so that's where the agreements come. Well, and it only affects companies that are, you know, like SAG studios. So things like Supergiant, for example, aren't a SAG-AFTRA studio, but that's because their VO talent are also full-time members of staff. So, like, Logan Cunningham is a Supergiant member of staff, right? As opposed to someone who is only brought in for VO and then let out into the world, I guess. Okay, and DJ Coil, that makes sense. I try not to be too militant. Obviously, I'm against, generative AI in games. And I saw one last night, which I'm not going to name because I'm not giving them a single breath of fucking promotion. But it was in Steam Next Fest, and it was a game that claimed to be punk. But everything about it was AI generated, except for, I think, level layouts. Art generated, music generated, voices generated. And they tried to position themselves as this, like, punky game. I would have torn them to shreds if 20 people hadn't beaten me to it. One person even going so far as to say that it must be a bunch of bots, and I thought that was thoroughly entertaining. It is the opposite of punk. Oh, I'm going to get Rain World started while we're just having a natter about this, because I've got a lot of ground to cover. So friends, we're going to be jumping into Rain World in just a second. The current state of Rain World is just I'm trying to travel between regions, so there isn't any big story spoilers to be jumping out at you from when we go. If you've never seen Rain World, ask me. It's one of my favorite games of all time. The only reason I'm not covered in Rain World tattoos is money. And Dice, Watto, and welcome. Dice, thank you for sending me prices on emotes and badges. I need to send you, because I think the... Okay, well, we got to turn this right up. I think that the Twitch sub badges are different from how the new emotes work. So I think you still have to do like the 3 sizes, but I haven't checked yet. As opposed to emotes now, where you just like do one and then.
What ho?
Ketteril, Watto, and welcome. How are you doing? Seriously, Ketteril, thank you for 10 months. Aww. Legends Pop is currently doing a very good Slugcat impression, and this is a thing I need to see. I figured, Dice. I didn't know if that was a factor. Because we have so many long ships that we could have. So Neoshto says the RuneScape players are rioting because they cancel the Pride events. What? Tisk tisk, RuneScape, tisk tisk. And friends, if you haven't cast your eyes into Discord General, there are a bunch of cutie patootie. There are a bunch of cutie patootie pets. We'd love to see them. Okay. Also, if anybody wants the story so far of Rain World the Watcher, I got you. Safik, I accidentally ate one of Moon's jellies the very first time I played Rain World. Sorry, bear with me a sec. Okay. Sorry for going a little bit 1,000-yard stare there. Well, so Safi, the thing that I ended up doing was going up and down the wall to bring Moon more jellies. You can do that. I think it peaks out at like 14 jellies, but we did a lot of trips up and down that wall. That was pretty much my whole streaming life for like a few weeks. Just up the wall, grab jellies from Pebs, down the wall, jellies from Moon, up the wall, so on and so forth. Be very careful not to eat Pebs' jellies. That was hard. But also, I used a lot of my tunnels as well. But, like, Safi, glad to hear you're getting into it, because I know one of the reasons you were coming around here was not wanting to play as much. Or, sorry, I shouldn't say it like that. God. Oh, my brain is fried today. Okay. Okay. We're switching gears. And we're switching gears to... We did see Next Fest. Oh, okay. So what are you lovely Mother Hubbards been watching right now? Hey, Saren. Watto and welcome. It's nice to know I'm not the only one. What was I doing here? Oh, I was just massacring. I was just massacring scavs, wasn't I? Okay, cool. That's fun. Massacring scavs and trying to avoid these bees. Which I think if I run like left to right, I can avoid them finding me. Oh, we got these salamanders as well, don't we? Alright, we definitely got the rot to spread this way, so that's fine. What's up, nerd? That's 2. That's 3. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh, they mad. Oh, they big mad. Just one? Alright. Go on, mate. Let's see what you got. That's for bullying me last time. Saren has been... Oh, downright mess. No. Well, allow me to be your entertainment today, Saren. I've been struggling to get up to speed, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So Catmaster, we are currently trying to spread the rot from region to region. I'm just trying to find my feet again since last week. We have gotten one ending, and we're kind of slowly working towards the next, you know? But yeah, so Saren, I'm trying to do that thing that people tell me to do, where I actually don't push myself too hard before things get crazy. Fucking dinner's running away again. So I did have like a huge marathon event planned for this weekend, but I've decided maybe not the best move. Ah! Dinner. Alright, a couple more, couple more moths, and then we'll have a nap. Bank our kills. So that the other scavs can know fear. I still don't understand how best to handle some of these. Like the bees and shit like that, but I'm getting better. Hey, no, so MC Catmaster, I completely understand. It's always lovely to see you. Don't be a stranger, but I completely get it. Right now, I'm just causing, like, mischief and violence. But I will say, Saren, we are absolutely the fuck playing Night Rain tomorrow. Like, y'all have gotten so far in, and I'm in the group thread being like, all by myself. God, I need to catch up on G-Quacks. I'm either, like, 2 or 3 episodes behind on G-Quacks. And Safik, that's lovely to hear. Because, like, you know, obviously I'm a worrier. You know, I try and make sure that when we're doing stuff here in the Longship that y'all are, you know, able to enjoy it, that it's fun for you lot, not just for myself. You know, and with my obsession with stuff like Elden Ring and the Ilk, you know, I want to bore you guys. Fuck. I'm getting too blasé, aren't I? On the plus side, the salamanders can't climb that good. Wellity, wellity, wellity. Oh, there are a lot of them. Alright, I'm gonna try something. Job's done! I think I got them all! It's still playing the battle music. Fuck it, let's go check it out. Yeah, no, I must have... Somebody was carrying way too many explosives and... Well, now they're not! Some of us never stop playing as Artie. I'm just saying. Questions, what the fuck am I getting some food? Hello. Hello. Follow me. Okay. Explodes. True. I mean, Aeon, there was a joke April Fool's Day thing of like slug cat with an AK, which, albeit very funny, did kind of lead to this I don't know. One of the things I find really interesting is when we get talking about Subnautica and how Subnautica is a game that actively seeks to have no firearms in it. And yet, it's one of the first things that people modded into that game was guns, right? Are you dead or just an asshole? All right. That's bad. Ah, poo. Oh, though. Take some moths. One more moth we can sneak a nap in and bank all of those fucking kills. Love to see it. Yeah, where did you moths come from? Might be okay. They're corrupted, but they're the... oh, no, that's too many. Sorry, forgive me for going super... I'm trying to bean one of these little, like... There we go. These little guys, because then... We've got enough to eat. We can go have a fucking snooze. Yeah, nothing personal, mate, but... I'm just here to bank a lot of kills. I will be honest, some days I consider doing either another Spearmaster run or another arty run, just so I'm allowed to go on a, like, unhinged kill spree. Like, look at me. I'm a little guy. I should be allowed to do that. It's my birthday. Like, look at this little guy. Look at his little face. Okay, now. But no, so Aeon, jumping back to what you're saying, is like, as someone who really enjoys good gunplay in video games, I like the idea of more games where your shooty gun bangs is less of a necessity and more of something that happens intermittently. You know, something that's more of a problem solving than the... Okay. Than the thing you have to be doing. Alright, Damon we can't get to. Shattered Terrace is, I guess, the final thing. So right now we're trying to get Torrid Desert, the Surface, Shrouded Coast, Stormy Coast. Oh, and the Verdant Waterways, Cold Storage, and Coral Caves. Turbulent Pump. Okay. No, it's very doubtful. It is something that's really interesting is how gorgeous this game is. And the thing I was trying to say earlier, not just as a fuck you to AI art, but as something that is really important, is that your game's got to stand out. You've got to make you've got to make something either visually striking or visually appealing right now. And do not make the mistake that something that is generative is going to be able to hit that. Ooh. Man. How come the bees don't go after the salamander? Am I just that delicious? Is that my curse, friends? Meanwhile, in Scat Town. Sup, nerds? Woo! Woo! I know you see me. I know you see me. Yeah. This guy's brave. That's gonna get him killed. By me. In his face. Oh shit, I haven't even turned on the hubris counter because I haven't needed to yet. Come on, dude, you are filled with explosives. Just because I blew up you and all of your tribe last time. Safik, it's really hard being this good at games all the time. Well, and so, Puppin, the other thing, and again, I'm not going to give this game I was talking about earlier any airtime, because fuck them. But, like, if they had drawn all of it themselves, even if it was bad, it would have had some heart, some idea. Like, there would have been something for us to get our teeth into, right? But they left us with nothing. When you look at this, like, this gorgeous art style they've gone for with Rain World, is timeless. We'll be looking at this game in 10 years' time and still talking about how pretty it is. But all of that, like, generative shit, the better people get at spotting it. Like, once you can see the hallmarks of it, it's so fugly. And that's the thing, Hamburger, it's like, we grew up in the shadow of AAA games and rock stars and superstars and whatnot. But nah, like, a game that will be successful these days is something where the art style is so wonderfully its own flavor. Man, they really are ignoring me. Did I instill fear into them? Yeah, the air quotes photorealistic style very rarely ages well. And the shitey AI stuff will age even poorer. You know what I mean?
I'm support cloaking mechanics in games. I just want to make myself clear.
Fuck off. Okay, that is good. Oh, man. Bye! How's that working out for you, buddy? Well, look. If they're not going to fight me...
Let me be transparent. I support this plan.
Oh, come on! Dude uses mate as a human shield. Alright, alright. Hang on. Let me get the hubris counter back up. Because I should be working on spreading the rot some more instead of getting myself killed. Boop. But Evil Geek, thank you. Oh shit, you'll have almost felled Air Dragon as our current Jarl. And I hope it doesn't seem like I'm banging on this whole, like, AI art shit too hard. It's just that, like, there are parts of this industry that we can't stop, right? We cannot stop gacha mechanics. Like, that's just how it be. It's a business model that is very successful and continues to do well. Like, regardless of how you feel about, you know, waifu simulators and whatnot, like, it is a business model that will continue to do well. Same with microtransactions and varying other forms of, like, business in the games industry. But AI art sits in a very, very strange place in that it's a business model that doesn't work. That's more based on what a lot of the investment crowd feels should work, right? And just like when Embracer got their knees kicked out from under them, just like when, you know, Decentraland and its ilk died horrible deaths, like, this is a point where our voice and our input has real weight. Because if people know that putting AI art in their game is a death nail, they'll stop doing it. And if they stop doing it, the people trying to sell the generative systems have no business. Right? They keep giving me explosives. Look, I've been bullied a lot in this run, so it's nice to be able to get some payback. Come on, buddy. I've killed so many scavs. You, kids got any more of them scavs? Okay, okay. But you think you're Scav John Wick, don't you? Fuck. Alright, alright. Regular scavs don't have the same range of mobility as, like, special forces scavs. So he can't throw straight up. But also, I can turn invisible. So... yeah, you better run, mate. You know what? I'm just going to leave him to it. He can tell the others what I did here today. Well, so Safik, the Special Forces scavs are real. Like, they're the ones with the lightning spears that come out at night. Predominantly in, like, the city areas and whatnot. Oh, Adam! I don't wanna. I don't wanna! Squaliforms are deep water sharks found worldwide in a range of environments, both inshore and offshore, in the tropics and in the cold seas, so fucking basically everywhere. The largest of the group is the Greenland shark, and is restricted to boreal, Arctic, and sub-Antarctic waters, where it even occurs in the most unlikely of places to find a shark, beneath ice floes. There you go. Boof. It is interesting when you stop to think about it that, like, there aren't sharks in this, and the Leviathans are partially man-made. Nika's character art. Sorry, I missed the... I think I missed the connective tissue there, Poppin, but the thing I wanted to say was what you were saying earlier is, like, so, like, good stories are always conveying something of their creator, right? All good art comes from emotion in some regard. Either the evoking of or expression of an emotion. And you can't get that from something that's generated. You know, your personal, weird, scrappy, bizarre art can show something special, something different. But, you know, something like cheap and generated will never be able to do that. Oh, okay. So, Puppin, thank you for asking. We don't have any rules about, like, which games we talk about while playing, because, like, Rainworld and a lot of games we do here, sometimes they are a vehicle for banter. Other times... Actually, I'm going to put the bomb down first and try and go get some food. Other times... like, the game is the focal point, or it's just the background noise for us talking about things that we love. Getting that moth. That's my dinner. I know you're coming back. Oh, you little shit. I know you are. Trying to fake me out. Oi! Come back here! My fucking lunch. Thank you. Now that sounds like something that's about to come fucking kill me. So let's leave. Go get Sleeper Cycle. So yeah, the only things that... anyway, so yeah, so Puppin, I'm more than happy to talk about other titles, especially when we're talking about this, because there's a lot of Rainworld to go around. Hang on, let me get this snooze in. Clive Barker's quote about art being able to move you, and that includes your bowels. But yeah, so Puppin, which game were you talking about again? Because I may have missed the connective tissue there. Lockstitch, okay, yes. Also, another one that's a really good example is Slay the Princess, which Abby's art absolutely fucking rocks for that one. And Dell, who did the illustration work, wonderfully brings together like the procedural pixel art and other elements that brought the foundations of Rainworld. Like, Rainworld isn't one art style, but Dell's visualization of the slug cats and their world ties it all together perfectly. And again, you can't generate that. Because generated stuff is, you know, it's just hallucinations. Safik, Clive Barker is one of the OG 80s horror guys. Him and... so it's like him, Wes Craven, and who's the other guy? Because I showed Little Fire in the Mouth of Madness, which, as fools, we watched in 2 parts, which kind of killed its flow, but was a very interesting title to say the least. Alright, we just don't stop moving. Don't get hit by bees. Ah, okay. So the bees will hit you if you go far enough out. How do we avoid these bees? You know, the puffballs could work. Obligatory. Not the bees! Because I do know where we can get some smoke bombs. Well, and you know what I love about In the Mouth of Madness and also Event Horizon is it's Sam McNeill made bank with Jurassic Park. He didn't have to keep making movies. He chose the ones he wanted. Now, In the Mouth of Madness is it's a bit of a mess now, but only compared to the kind of... Is there only one scav? Ah, and that's what I need. Sup, buddy? Thanks for the delivery. Okay, so there are actually a few more of them. Job's done! Time to work! Like, going back and rewatching In the Mouth of Madness, there's a lot of things that a few games have done a little bit better, but it's still worth looking at. Shit, I forget how I got onto it because I just had another successful massacre. Keep going until they really hate me. DJ Coil, no lies there. Hunt for the World of People is brilliant. There's also a really strange one with Willem Dafoe that I liked, but that's not a story. Oh, you thought he was related to Bob Barker? Ha! That's pretty funny. But no, now, who was it that did The Thing? Was that also Clive Barker? Am I getting them all... Am I getting everybody mixed up today? Dang it. John Carpenter. All right. John Carpenter's the one who did In the Mouth of Madness. And has done some fascinating movies. But yeah, they're... Like, as a squad of individuals, they're kind of fascinating just in the sense of... Okay, we are going to fill our belly. We're going to go grab the weapons. And we're going to take that... We're going to take that Karma Flower and we're going to teleport somewhere else. We'll try and find the most rotted out spot and then bring it with us. Huh. Do the bees eat the moths? That's so weird. Okay. So we're just going to go get the Karma Flower, eat the Karma Flower, and then see if we can find a nice rotted spot. Because so far, Karma Flower teleports do seem to take us to where we're supposed to go next, which is good. Pippin, I have played Gris, but I haven't played the follow-up that came out recently because if that puppy dies, I'm going to lose my marbles. Alright, now where can we find somewhere that's got a proper case of the rot? Oh shit! Actual healthy food? Shit. Fuck. No! Let me go! Bastard. Hubris. Okay. It's okay. We know where the Karma Flower is now. We can go get it. It'll be fine. It will be fine. God darn it. I would keep thinking about how I had a point with both John Carpenter and Clive Barker, but it has completely dropped out of my head. Oh, just that a lot of their movies are genuinely trying to say or do something, and it's really interesting the works that they were involved in that ended up becoming things like cult classics, like They Live and stuff like that. It is actually fascinating if you go back through John Carpenter's discography. You know, obviously his most famous works being the Halloween franchise. You're right, Wes Craven's the third guy in this kind of like trilogy of horror peeps. But it is fascinating, you know, which of those titles did end up having a history to them, you know? Okay. I know we gotta go. Shit. Oh no! The hand grenade in my hand blew up. And look, I'm not trying to make a big point here. I will say that, who was it brought that? Poppin brought up Big Trouble in Little China. Okay, yeah, I think what I was trying to say was that John Carpenter has made a bunch of movies. Not all of them were financial successes at the box office at the time. In the Mouth of Madness barely scraped by a make-even. And some of his more iconic titles did very, very financially poorly. But I think it's worth... Oh, did I just lose the Karma Flower? Oh, I might have... Alright, well, it might be time for a few more massacre cycles while we're talking about this. But it's something that we haven't really discussed in video games, is like the power of a cult classic and things like that. Because we don't talk about game sales. Not really, not like we used to. Right? If you make a great game, and it doesn't get picked up until later, unless it is a Among Us level success, it doesn't really get talked about. You know, especially in PC games, we have this thing about the long tail, right? I.e., you make a game, and it doesn't sell 1 million copies on day one. It just keeps selling copies for days. Fuck you guys! Revenge! These are the kind of titles that we don't really discuss, but it's... So, for example, Deltarune is doing gangbusters right now. Undertale was not an overnight success. That game sold well, but it sold slowly over time, right? Oh man. Yeah, no, I hit that little pocket of moida. In that regard, Undertale is probably easier to study as a title, but there are a lot of games that have acquired really successful followings that are not evident until later on, closer to kind of the cult horror films of yore, right? I guess what I'm trying to say in a long-winded way is that when you create something genuinely with your whole chest, that there is a value beyond the immediate. And you see that in a lot of horror works in the early 80s, because, like, I think that was the last time in cinema when we had, like a rash of creativity breakouts. One of the other movies that Little Fire showed me was it Sleepaway Camp or Camp Sleepaway? Which is fascinating in the sense of, like, it was a small horror film. It cost about like $300K to make. Ended up making like 11 million back in the day when that was a lot of money in the 80s. You know what I mean? I'll try and eat as many moths as I can while we're having this discussion. And something I've noticed now that old titles are better perceived than they were. Oi! Oh, did they slam dunk into their little home? Cheeky buggers. There are games that did not necessarily make gangbusting amounts of money, but are, you know, extremely influential now. Like, maybe, I know we talk about it a lot, and I always feel like I'm a bit of a fucking broken record when I bring it up, but, like, no one talks about Fallout, and how it wasn't a franchise that was making money. Like, the value of Fallout was always there. Oh, just very quickly, because I'm going to stash this smoke egg and sleeper cycle while we try and get Karma Flower again. But are the bees put off by smoke, or is that just a theory? Friends, I'm going to make another cup of coffee, because I'm trying to get my thoughts together on this, and I really want to hammer this point home. I don't know why it's so important, because I think you all get it. Like, DJ Coil's saying, like, Zach of Zachtronics has talked a lot about how long tails sold games. And absolutely. You want to know a fun one? Total War, that I worked on for a squillion years, makes mad bank. But it doesn't make mad bank selling, like, fuck tons of AAA sales. Total War sells copies month in, month out. And that's how it maintains the franchise. Like, it knows what it's going for, you know. Total War was doing great until they tried to move it to like a yearly franchise and shit like that, where they tried to overtly AAA-ify it. Oh wait. Oh, cool. You know what I mean? Shit. I promise you I'm going to get to the point on this thought. Promise. Much like our little slug cat, I'm kind of taking us all on a journey here. I know, babies, I know. Oh, the guinea pigs are super happy because they now have 2 different kinds of treats they get every day. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that creating something genuine with your whole heart and working towards it builds this background radiation of enthusiasm, this background radiation of care. Like, what turns a game into a franchise, what turns a creative into an auteur is putting your whole ass into it. I'm gonna! Nova, I'm gonna! Anytime that you outsource that to a machine, in the generative AI hallucination machine, all you're taking is like watered down pieces of everybody else's stolen creativity and kind of like dribbling it through. And you can't build an enthusiasm. People can't have an emotional anchor to something that has no emotion in it. You know? Like, we got a load of friendos who, I don't think they're in right now, but peeps like Damien, who has been making Damien games for years. Now, Damien should be vomit-inducingly rich based on how fucking good his work is and how creative he is as a person. But the world is more random than it is sensible. But the more of us that experience Damien's titles and talk about them, like, Damien Crawford's golfing experience will hurt you unlike any other game has hurt you, and you will never forget it. Purgatory Dungeoneer takes great glee in telling you it's just a little roguelike game. Oh, it's a little roguelike game, and it's so silly. There's so many characters and so many classes, and then bam, the hook hits, and that will stay with you. Well, so DJ Coil, I think that was true during the 2010s. Now, those AAA studios that were so focused on the next big thing are dead or dying. Like, the AAA Battleship productions fucked. So now it's up to people like us. Like, how do we build small teams? How do we build long-tail franchises? How do we create things that people can have an emotional anchor to? Ah, well, Nova, I'm glad you've survived the workplace nonsense. And yeah, don't call it a family, because for a lot of us, that's not a good thing. Simple Chaos, if you want to earmark that one, you're entirely welcome to. But okay, you see my point where I'm coming from. Like, this whole thing that I've been coming around to, the reason why, one, we should be advising our friends not to use generative AI stuff. And because that creepiness seeps through. Last night in the Longship, someone posted like a Mega Man style game that's part of Steam Next Fest. It is generative Mega Man with generative key art, and if you read the Steam page, it doesn't make any sense. And not in a, I translated this from another language, grammatical breakage. It's nonsense garbage PR words. So it says things like an endless playground of possibilities. It's a platformer. It's a platformer where you play Mega Man in one style. I know, babies, I know. I know. How is that a playground of possibilities? It's not. They just said, ChatGTP, write me a fucking Steam store description. Yes, I know. You already had lunch. Little fatties. Happy little fatties. Devershi brought down some fresh kale. So they've had fresh kale and fresh cilantro for lunch. Yeah, Unholy Glee, that's the thing. None of it makes any sense. And the last thing I wanted to bang on, just in terms of... hang on. Let me get a hoodie. I'm sorry, it's hoodie weather. The last thing that I wanted to touch on this one is that with the rampancy of how many cool games we see every day, you get sometimes one shot. If your first foot forward is generative art, you're done. That game is cooked. Because we as consumers are not going to go back and see if the developers have unfucked it. Like, people will leave a shitty review because their PC sucks. And even if the dev responds, even if they fix that problem, users don't come back. What the fuck makes like these people think that we're gonna go back? Because the art was fucking terrible. You know? Aeon, are you on the cilantro doesn't taste good spectrum? Because I am very sorry. As an aside to an aside, you'll be very proud of me. I'm getting one step closer to recreating my taco wife. I managed to slow fry pork by making the stuff I've been doing for the pulled pork, frying it until it's like browned, then doing like a little drizzle of the sauce, frying it some more, little drizzle of the sauce. It was really good. It did not survive very long. Oh god. Well, Aeon, I use it a little bit of it for what I would slow cook it in, but you can't buy a little bit of cilantro at the store, so the guineas get extra. But yeah. Okay, so right now we're gonna check up to see if the we're gonna check up to see if the karma flower has respawned. Oh, I'm fucked. Oh no, we're okay, we're okay. And if it hasn't, then we're going to try the... We're going to try the smoke bomb to see if it'll get us past the... Fuck off! No! I lost my smoke bomb. No, you fucking don't. Alright, new plan. Mega. Fuck! Okay, might have a slight problem. It's fine. The vulture has landed on me. There we go. Okay, everything bad is happening over there. Let's avoid that place as best we can. Head back up and get another spear. Okay, but I think I've done a pretty good job actually making a semi-coherent point. Oh man, even these guys are fucking scared of the mask. He's not gonna start shit. God, I love this game. See about going over this way. Usually I wouldn't go this way, but we have the... Okay. So if we do manage to get a Karma Flower, this is the way we need to head to teleport. Alright, I'm learning. Yeah, I'm taking a nap with this mask. Let's fucking go. Okay. I won't lie, so just noticing the, I assume you mean Trader Joe's for TJ's. I did look to see if they sponsor people. I don't know if they've ever sponsored a streamer before. But there is a non-zero chance that the stores may have the authority to sponsor the Longship. Okay. Got my coffee. Got our kill. We'll turn this place into a fucking bloodbath. It's great. So, jumping back. DJ Coil says they need to recalibrate their professional plan. Still waiting to win back into the AAA lottery. Yeah. I wouldn't even know what to recommend at this stage, you know? Like, I still find it insane that people are charging for mentorships in the ilk right now. Because, like, how can you even begin to try and explain to people like how to get into AAA stuff right now? I don't know if you even fucking can. I mean, Safik, I'm not saying there is such a thing as a good gigantic corporation, but right now, I wouldn't say no to one, like, a steady monthly paycheck for a sponsorship would be awesome. And considering that they're so close to my current abode, I'd be able to... Stealing the spears, mate. I'd save a ton of money on foodstuffs. Foodstuffs and booze as well, like drinking on a Friday night, sponsored by Trader Joe's. Those Cosmos in a can are really good. The margaritas in a can are fine. They're not as dangerous as the cut water ones. Oh, I pinned that guy to the fucking wall! Oh, that is kind of evil of me. Oh, bugger. Why the baddie? Just seems to be killing a lot of local wildlife today. And occasionally leaving tears in the fabric of space-time. Trader Joe's cannot afford to sponsor you for booze. I don't know, Nova. Those look like... Their in-house stuff is good and not too bad. The only thing I've noticed is their box red Gives me the old glowing neck syndrome. Sometimes ginger folks can get the thing where from drinking we overheat. We get like our neck goes scarlet. And for whatever reason, the Trader Joe's red wine does that for me. Great. Is that the proper term? Well, it's a genetic thing, and it tends to be prominent in gingers or folks from certain parts of like mainland Asia and places like that. Also, alcohol tolerance has a big part on it. I really need that karma flower. Do I just have to kill... Do I have to kill enough to get up the cycles? Nope, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Because what I'm going to try... Oi. Ah, it's poisoned. Alright, well, time for the slowest, nastiest meal in Rain World. Ugh. Poor little slug cat. Sorry, buddy. We got to eat through this. Anyway, I forget how we got on the topic of that. Oh yeah, so DJ Coil, like, jumping back, like, I don't know what to recommend, because your background is in QA and predominantly publisher-side QA, or in-house as well? You know what, I might as well get a full belly while we're nattering and getting nasty. Because ultimately, some of the operations that are trying to turn themselves into publishing houses would have a lot of value from having QA folks. Now, Simple Cares, it would be extremely funny if I could put a Trader Joe's out of business with just my liver and lifestyle. I'd be very proud of that one. But also, like, if I had to take a corporate sponsor, like, here's the thing. I go down to my local Trader Joe's. It is full of brightly coloured queer folk, you know. The reason I thought about it was because one of the people in there remembered that I was a streamer and was like, oh, you're the guy. And was then talking to me about their theories on when we're going to get info on Silk Song and stuff like that. And that person was, you know, queer as the flag we salute. You know what I'm saying? If I have to take more corporate, then, you know, I'd sure as shit like it to be an operation that is focused on that, you know? Ultimately, the win would be a games publisher or something sponsoring the crap out of us. Losing Humble Bundle sucked. Not gonna lie. Okay, so DJ, your skills are in-house QA and systems design. And that's understandable. I mean, QA's a fine way to pay the bills, and a lot of those QA houses are stable, you know? It's not like back in the day where you had to be part of like a little basement buddies bastard squad. Like, but also I do understand that QA houses are no longer an in to the industry. You know, working at a QA house is a... Oh, we're going to have some fun tonight. Working at a QA house is a great way to get a job in QA. Huh. Welcome to fight night. Oh, shit. Okay, so the Void Hunters are starting to take... Oh, that's a lot of them. Fuck. Oh, Dice, that's way cool. The gentleman who has helped me with Longshipian finances in the past wrote his own tabletop board game systems. And used to buy his games predominantly through Humble back when Humble was a way you could support the Longship. Man. The vultures are eating good tonight. Except for when I do this. Hadouken! Oh, shit. Oh, no! He took us both out. And DJ Coil, I don't think that's a bad way of doing stuff. Sorry, that sounded so patronizing. I do apologize. Look, so many of you here are incredibly talented, incredibly skilled, and I don't want to sit here and be like, well, if you just put your mind to it, then that'll be great. DJ Coil was saying, like, doing a 20 to 30 hour work week at like a retail place or something like that, and then using the downtime to make creative projects is a good play. I think that super tight, super focused, weird shit is the way to go, because no matter how easygoing it is, you know, as we all know, work in retail in any regard is a lot of mental and physical work, right? So structuring the game in such a way that you're either focusing on parts of the game you really enjoy, at least to get it far enough along the line so that when you're ready to commit, you know, you're not killing yourself too hard. Hadouken! Oh, fuck you. There was a grenade on the floor. I didn't see it. It blew me up. Oops, sorry. I think that's actually 2 to the hubris count. I think I missed one. Oh, Dice, that's fucking cool. Dice says they have the Jumanji Festival coming up this weekend, but next... and the guy who designed the game board is going to be there. Oh. Honestly, right now my goal is basically see if that Karma Flower will respawn and go from there. or work out a way to traverse the sand and avoid the bees. Sorry, that's me just thinking out loud right now. I am still, however, enjoying throwing the vulture summoners. Ooh. Oh, buddy, you fucked up. It was this moment he knew. He fucked up. Yeah, I might as well try it on the bees here. Doesn't seem to have too much of an effect. Okay. And Safik, like, that's entirely fine. I will say, and I am partially responsible for this, because whenever we're talking about making games, I want you to be able to make a nice, comfortable living from the art that you create, right? Like, that's where my brain goes to. But so long as you are creating things that make you happy, you know, we all have had to work shitey jobs throughout our lives. I'm lucky as to where I am now, but I certainly didn't fall into streaming at, like, you know, age 19. I have stacked shelves. I have cleaned up sick. I have definitely cleaned up the aftermath of a cocaine-fueled editing binge at a post-production house. I have seen a lot that comes out of the human body. But using all of that, like, time and finance and being able to focus it on the things you want to create is good. The thing about video games gives us a slight edge over other mediums is that, you know, unlike a lot of traditional art, we don't have an overhead, right? So if, say, for example, DICE comes up with a cool new design, there's a physicality to that, right? Fuck. I dropped a spear. Oh, shit. Ah, piss. Alright, no, that's cool. That's as good as that could have gone. It's a fucking bloodbath down there. Love to see it. You're a brave Mother Hubbard, you know that? Lesser bastards have died beneath my Slugcatian blade. Okay. See if we can get some food and see if that karma flower has respawned. But what I will say, so Eon, not Eon, to DJ Coil is like, if that's the path you want to go, we can help you structure. Like, we've got Kimball, we've got... Oh, shit, the bed. Ah, I was looking away! Fuck! Did so much murder. Pooh. Yes, I think I'd love some help with locusts and bees and whatnot. I mean, I'm having a good time with, like, Bastard Fight Club. And if they're going to keep giving me toys to play with, then I'm going to keep playing with the toys, but... Fuck. No offense, buddy, but sucks to suck. Here's the corpse of your friend. How do you ask him how that went? Alright, mud or purple lizard spit. Got it. Anyone else down there? Alright, got one more. Okay. So, slowly annihilating the, Slowly annihilating all of the lizards probably wasn't my smartest move. Okay, is it me, or did that lizard just go, ah, fuck no? Oh, no, wait, no, here he comes. Go on. Come on. Come on down here, you coward. I think it's scared of me? Like, I'm serious. I think it's scared of me. Like, it's signaled. I can hear it do the swoosh. Alright. Well, I'm gonna bank these kill. Oh, wait, no. It doesn't even come on down until I start to leave. Hey, friends, remember the time I frightened the entirety of the vulture population? I've killed so many scavs that even the vultures are like, nah, fuck that little thing. I don't know what it is. I know it's delicious and I know it's gonna fucking kill me. I'm just sorry I'm at that point of like making like half points. TLDR, if you want to start making your game in your spare time, we can work out like how to help with prototyping, putting it together so it makes sense, and so you can make your game your way without killing yourself in the process. Because that's the thing, right? Like, you can start making your own video game today. It's just whether it will take you a year or so, or whether it will take you 17. Oh, numbers, I am so sorry. For those who don't know, a spider in Numbers' place has broken containment. It is now missing. Okay. It's easier than using the little teleport, because I think, as you've all noticed, I'm starting to leave a lot of tears in the environment. Aww, that's real cute. One doesn't find turtles casually in the greater Seattle region. Which is probably for the best, because I probably would have adopted, let me check my notes, all of them, given the opportunity. Alright, now let's see if, aside from a full belly, there's a chance that the Karma Flower is back. Moth on a stick. It's delicious. Yes! Okay, Karma Flower is here. So what do you reckon, friends? Oh, God, that's a lot of bees. Should we just do the jump the moment I get the kit? Or should we risk it for a biscuit? Oh, for fuck's sake! Red burning, go fuck yourself! Nee! Some, such as the gulper sharks, inhabit depths well over 3,300 feet below sea level, while others, such as the spiny dogfish, prefer the shallow environments of shelf and coastal waters, even entering the intertidal regions. That's hard to say. Much is still uncertain about this large and diverse group of sharks. Favor 6, I always like it when you get to that point. I really enjoy making the entry grade kits when my brain's not up to the task of doing anything more complex. So... Huh. A lot more bees here than I'm comfortable with. Alright, well at least this way we only need to eat once. But I do know where we're going, so... I'm going down the shelf. Because we know where the teleporter takes us from... here. Wait, did I clear out the scavs already this way, or do I still need to... Bastards. Alright, that didn't help. Alright, we're gonna go the other way. Don't you fucking dare, mate! No! Yeah, fuck off. So yeah, there's no point getting stanky there. Oh, you three can all fuck right off. They can smell that I have something to lose now. Alright. Fuck it. I know where we're going. No! Fuck! You absolute little shit. He already broke our neck. Like, even if we get free, even if, like, the caramel bastard lizard here gets us going... Ugh. Cyan little shit. Oh, my word. Right, but I know where we are. And Dustin, what and welcome. How goes it? So we go... Okay, we're going to get the Karma Flower. We're going to get into one of the stickier regions. We'll just bring the rock with us, and for the rest, we'll wing it. Now, in theory, they should be up there. I'm so mad. I've been so bloodthirsty this run, and everything's fine. And I leap into the waiting gob of a fucking bastard lizard. Oh, no one can say this game is boring. That's for fucking sure. I can't remember if we've actually used this area yet to teleport from. Okay. But yeah, so Dustin and those of you who've joined us, we've predominantly just been talking about, like, why AI aren't bad, so nothing like super controversial on the Longshipian banter topics. But we've also been talking about, like, you know, potential ways that if you wanted to make a game yourself, you might be able to... Oh shit, I'm on the outside. Oh, I'm fucked. I'm completely fucked! No! I'm going back to killing scavs. I'm going back to killing scavs. Revenge! Grenade. You're coming with me. I want to kill so many fucking scavs. I am going to have a normal amount of murder. Savig's even told me how to not get eaten by bees. But I haven't seen a salamander in a while, because someone, naming no names, may have started using the salamanders as target practice. Alright, fuckos! Who's ready to die? Looks like we've got our first contestant here. It's George! Fuck! I'm so mad. But as a reminder, friends, we do have our monthly clip contest going on. If your clip is the most viewed in any month, I'll get you a video game. I'll pick one from my personal collection that I think you would like. Or we'll come up with a better prize. How you get the #1 clip, that is up to you. Alright? Where you share it and how you share it, That is your choice, friends. I'm so mad. We had the karma flower. I had all the food for a snooze and everything. I just fell the wrong way. A great reminder that no matter how much time you spend in Rain World, you're not immune to Rain World. It's time to do some moiga. Get fucked! Ah! Holy shit. Holy shit, that was a 1 grenade TPK. I will be signing autographs after the stream. Oh, just as a little FYI, so the kill cam, that's a mod that you can download for Rain World, which I highly recommend. There was one to get rid of the tinnitus sound, but that's now just an option, which I really appreciate. Right. Oh, there are some moths around. I'm gonna bank those kills. Okay. Okay. Job's a good one. Alright, well, this is the closest to a full belly we're going to get for a while, so let's just take it. Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, when did we start doing the whole, like, fake tinnitus for explosion noises? Is that one we need to blame on cinema, or was that one of our... Was that a video game falsery? Because you know what? I've always hated it. It was cinema first? Okay. Because there's some shit that we in the games industry need to apologize for that has been adopted by other mediums. Yeah, you better run! Payback's a bitch. Die in a lizard fire. John Wick! Yeah, Tim. Simple Chaos. Oh yeah, Caffeine and Simple Chaos are saying that Saving Private Ryan was the first one that did like the faux tinnitus. And the irony still strikes me that, you know, the success of Call of Duty comes from trying to emulate a large amount of Saving Private Ryan's visual style. Oh! Okay, the rot has spread. Notice? Alright, so that means that if we can get a snooze in... So it seems that areas that are fully rotted are different than ones that have a little bit of the nasty to it. Oh yeah, good point. Like Medal of Honor and Call of Duty both. Still wild to me that, you know, COD was the one that survived. Sorry, Patrick Gill did a really, really good video on kind of like the circus of war around Call of Duty and how Call of Duty's success is almost counter to the point of Saving Private Ryan as a movie, which was that it was an anti-war war film, right? Darn it. And I'm sucking at catching moths today. You know what, Cappy, that's an interesting thing that, yeah, Medal of Honor stayed very focused on World War II after everyone else kind of pivoted away from it. No, that was my dinner! Fuck. There we go. So the reason why we're saving a cycle now is because the rot has begun to spread a little bit further. So when we do finally get a Karma Flower, it'll be much, much easier for us to spread it about. Like, I'm not even going to go murder a bunch of scabs right now. The last modern FPS setting I played was Project IGI. God, that's a term no one's talked about in a long time. I know. I'm such a benevolent Slugcat ruler. Because this is Slugcat's house. I don't know. It weirdly feels to me that when someone gets a really, really good set of realistic shooty guns for UE5, UE6, that we're gonna see this explosion in more creative shooty gun bank. And that's what I'm really hoping for, you know? Yeah, notice how the rot is definitely spreading. This is great. Yeah, like receiver, shit like that. Because, like, I really like guns in video games, but I'm so bored with what we are given to do with them and the events that we get to play, you know? I still am incensed that the incredible gun handling in Tarkov is stuck inside of Tarkov. Oh, Caffeine, you got no shame, friend. Like, I don't know if I would have finished Receiver 2 if we hadn't done it stream-wise. And then, if I remember rightly, that last... Oh. Itty bitty baby wants to come play. Oh, you fucking piece of shit garbage twat. Note to self, murder scabs. But I am kind of curious to see what the rest of this area looks like. Fuck you guys. Fuck off! Oh, it's on now. It's fucking on now. It wasn't on before. You know what? No. Mask. Now die. Give me back my fucking mask. Alright, where are the rest of you? How did you think this was gonna go? How did you think this was gonna go? You just gonna jump a slug cat? Just gonna come say hi howdy? See how it plays out? You don't exist in this world. For any other reason than because I didn't kill you this cycle. Alright, fuckos. Oh, they're here. Who's next? No one wants to be the first scav to come up the pole. You better run! If I have to come down there, you're not gonna like it. At J-Post, we've definitely made it worse.
My friend is working on a game where you throw up as a mechanic. He call them his mobile games.
Oh, mobile. Fuck! Akira Zero, thank you for the 200. Bastards. So it struck me that with those lizards, they don't go full wiggly until they're either hurt or dead. That's what seems to unleash, like, horrifying monster mode. Taking the mask back. I'm not done with my little, like, slug cat kill spree. I'm just telling you now. Fuck! Oh, God. I should make a sandwich. I should make a sandwich. That's what we're gonna do. I just realized I was getting legit angry, and I'm the one attacking them. So, it's sandwich time. I think I should make a sandwich. If you're wondering what in the hell I'm doing, aside from... Oh, favor 6, fuck off. Like, I'm still here. I'm still doing it. Lost my vibe. You didn't see the sheer amount of scavs I have murdered so far. Okay, and what's happened here in the Badlands is that the rot has progressed. So the area has changed. The scavs are no longer just staying into their place because their hunting grounds have been fucked up. That's why they're zerg rushing me at the start. Now, what I need to do in the Badlands is I need to find a Karma Flower, go to an area that's seeping with rot, and then do like a blink teleport. That should pull the rot with me into one of these other areas. Now, once we start getting to the point where we're like hopping around between different sections, we should start making some progress because we've still got the surface, we've still got Shrouded Coast, Stormy Coast, Turbulent Pump, and Coral Caves. That'll be tricky ones. Same with Cold Storage. And Holy Boss, Watto and welcome. Oh shit, more pet tax in general? Alright. I'm gonna put on some I am gonna put on some happy smooth jams though. There we go. We'll take a little break. Take a little break. Because I'm definitely getting angry. Not at you lot, but you know, the world, the universe, and everything. And it struck me that it is 5 p.m. and I may not have eaten yet. But we don't need to focus on that. We don't need to focus on that. I do have all the tools for a BLT though, which is what I may just stuff into my gob. And Holy Boss, thank you for the extra corgis in the pint glass. Oh wow, yeah. We've got Ketterill's cat looking adorable. Coil's puppy's looking regal. Angelos' Deja Noodle just hanging. Lance and the cat napping. This is what we want to see. Oh, that's fascinating. And Safik was posting a taxonomy of lizards, which is fascinating. And some frogs. We're always happy to see frogs. Oh wow, Patch Rabbit's full cacophony of pets. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. All right, bear with me just a second. I'm making a Sani. But yeah. I will say that for all my frothing and rampant fervour, I have killed more scabs than have killed me today. I think that's pretty bloody good. How's the temperature in here? Hey, babies. Oh, it's not. I know. You girls had lunch. You keep telling everybody like you're starving. You are well fed. Cheeky little terrors, that's you lot. And here's the thing, I keep getting lost in the paint talking to you lot and murdering scabs, Rain World style, so I could have probably cleared this area ages back, but no, I wanted to be fucking big man on Slugcat Campus. Slug Campus? Slug Campus. Alright, let me get back to you on that one. You see these two little cuties?
Yes, I know. Yes, I know. It's so...
For those of you who weren't here earlier, so the Nuggies are actually getting two rounds of treats a day rather than one. Cleo's getting like a special supplement for her joints, which comes in the form of a delicious treat, and Diva's allowed to have them as well. But this also means that they now think they can beg for even more food than before. Which is not strictly wrong, but that's not the point. Trader Joe's responsibility. Sorry, I'm gonna salad together. That's a little smoky. It's fine. If you can have smoked bacon, why not smoked bread? Way earlier. Fool that I am! Just no one tell Nova that I didn't eat until now, okay? Mobility is prepared. This will not be an elegant sandwich, my friends, but it is delicious. I didn't just burn myself. Okay. God, I have more thumbs today. It's amazing I survived any of those fucking scams. Okay. So now we can enjoy our halftime segment called Beans. Which have you told Nova? No, I was Nova. I was totally joking. I absolutely ate before now. Totally. Game changer voice. They were here the entire time. Nova hears all, Nova sees all. Famous 6. I can't believe you made Sharky the bloody Jarl. Oh, and Simple Chaos. One of the things I love about being out in the US is out of many places I have lived, one of the core tenets of the US is the understanding that a sandwich is not a meal replacement. It is a glorious vehicle for deliciousness, and it should not be elegant. A sandwich should not look like... A sandwich should not be something that one eats delicately on a picnic. It should be a threat.